Okay, so we went to Hot Springs today to see a dentist for my daughter, and we did get to enjoy a little bit of time downtown. We went to get some tea, coffee, boba. Got to, well, I didn't have boba, so I had Vietnamese coffee. And then you had a slushie, right? Smoothie. And then we also went to Earthbound. I only got a couple of clearance stuff. But besides that, we went to Salvation Army. Did not find any good finds there. I found one pair of pants I may try on. The thrift stores are getting slimmer and slimmer in pickings because, like, they'll send everything, like with Goodwill, they send it all to bins. So these ladies make a full-time living selling stuff from the bins, and then I can't find decent stuff in my local stores. Whatever. But we went to Kroger and got a lot of good stuff, really good prices. It's so funny because, people that don't know how to shop at, like, grocery stores, they end up spending way too much money because it's like, I do kind of find it sort of, and it sounds, okay, sexist, because the way they make all the sales so complicated, it's like they think we're all still wives in the 1950s wearing waspies and have nothing better to do with our time but shop all day. But no, time is money. It's ridiculous we have to go to this much trouble, but if that's what it takes to save money, then that's what I'm going to do. And I can always get my food way cheaper than at the Walmart we have here and better quality. I can't count the amount of stuff from our Walmart that we hate, like the frozen corn. It's like they leave the cob all in and get stuck in your teeth. When you get like the smoothie stuff, the pineapple, it has like the core, the hard, chewy part in that. And everything from Walmart's really bad quality, I mean, not everything, but a lot of stuff. So we just like stuff from other stores more anyway. And let's see. Look at this. We got 2 of these for $3.42. My kids used to love these things. We used to actually get them when we lived in Kroger in Houston, and probably like the bag. I can't remember. But usually I won't buy these. But it was, look at that, over 2 pounds. I know, like right now, the 32 ounces of Banquet's $5.99. And I was going to get them chicken nuggets anyway, but this was way cheaper. So we got 2 of these. And yes, this is like for little kids, but it's organic and it was on clearance and it gives my kids probiotics. So if they have one a day, they have 4 days of probiotics there. The cheese, guys, oh my God. If you have a serving of cheese right now is a little over 10 cents a person for a meal because it was like $1.29 for 8 ounces. I never get the sliced cheese because you get the 8 ounces when you do the shreds or the blocks. So $1.29, you can use the coupon up to 5 times. That's what we did. So that was like 2, 4, 6 pounds for under $7. No, sorry, 3 pounds for under $7. I mean, that's the best price I have found on cheese in ages. The only one we got that's less than ounces is the Parmesan because it tastes stronger and it's just, higher quality cheese. So they're going to use that with their pizza. We're going to make some homemade pizza. There's some cheddar for me, and we got 2 blocks right here. This pepperoni, this was like $5.99 for a whole pound. This will go pretty far. And right now, lunch meat is expensive. I mean, the cheapest ham, like Bar S 2 pounds ham, is still like $5 a pound. I'm not going to pay $5 a pound for lunch meat. This tastes so strong, you could either put this with something for a sandwich if you want, or just use it for your pizza. And let's see. We did actually get some beef. There's something else. Hot dogs. I got hot dogs for $1. I got the 3 pounds of beef for 11 something, basically $12. It's almost $4 a pound for 80%, which is about as good as it gets right now. Unless you buy the really, really high fat kind, right? And I just got one of those. But if you were to make meatloaf with that, I can make 2 meatloaves with that. Put some really cheap oats in there and eggs and slice them really thick. My kids love meatloaf sandwiches. And it would be way more filling and actually cheaper than buying overpriced lunch meat. Same thing with the chicken breast. We actually got chicken breast. It said $2.99, but for some reason this was $2.79. And so if you were to do, I am nowhere near as having my crap together as Prepper Princess, but she has talked about how cook the chicken breast, cut them in half, make 2, and cook it, and you have like 2 sandwiches right there with 1 chicken breast. Again, a much more filling sandwich, because I don't buy a whole lot of meat, so if I want to buy it, I'm not going to pay $5 for freaking lunch meat. And we got 2 of these because these were 2 for $8. So even the bacon is cheaper than lunch meat, which is a shocker. It was basically $4 a pound. And let's see. Look at that. I got this. I remember when these were so expensive when they first came out with them. I mean, just the regular kefir, however you say it. And this is an oat version on clearance, and I love that for probiotics, so I got that for me. Got some of these for $1 each. Not the best, but better than nothing. Had a coupon for these. The kids love these, so I got them these, 2 each. These were pretty cheap this time, so we got these to make some homemade pizza. Kids like these for their energy. This giant thing of waffles was like a little over $3. I usually would just, make homemade pancakes way cheaper, but that's not a bad price for something they can grab and go really quickly. That's another thing you can make really, really cheap. Buy a big thing of waffles and make waffle sandwiches. Now, that's more, people know about that more now, but I discovered that years ago when Gabby was a newborn baby and I was ravenous, I found out how to make waffle sandwiches, and I have never looked back. Got these for me. I love lentil and chickpea pastas. They are so good. I don't like the brown rice ones. They're gross and they fall apart. These are real dense, but they really fill you up. Full of protein and full of fiber, and they were on sale for a little over $2 each. And these are the ones that kids like, and they're cheaper than the jars. They had these on sale for a coupon you can use up to 5 times. But I'm like, why am I going to pay an extra 30-40 cents for a jar? I mean, this has 16 ounces in it, and this has 24 ounces in it. And so we just got one of the Alfredo flavors. Now that they went to the cheddar sauce, the yellow kind, in the tiny container, and they want $3 for it, I'm not buying it. Oh, I forgot to get some more of that queso Velveeta stuff. We ate it fast this last time. We usually don't. They usually last better. Got the kids one of these each. They will legit, y'all will almost eat a whole one of these yourselves in one meal, won't you? The macaronis? Yeah. Yeah. Like my son will actually fix this size, the family size, the big ones, and he'll eat it right out of the pot. So, I mean, honestly, that boy's dad doesn't know that I'm in the hole because of his one mouth right there. Like, no, feeding a teenage son is like feeding 5 normal humans. Okay, and I got this because we already have a light mayonnaise, which I like the light ones because they are really low in calories, but this one just tastes better and has a little bit more calories, but still less than normal. So it depends on what you're using it for. These were under $2 each, right about $2, $1.99 each. Got that. Got that one for me. And that was a really good deal for this. A little over $1 for low-fat vanilla yogurt. And the kids can make parfaits with that, with fruit. My Gabby can make homemade granola, all that good stuff. And we got this big thing of crinkle fries. If you get the 5 pounds, it's $6, so it's a little over $1 a pound. And that's not bad considering, like, even potatoes are expensive right now. So unless you find your potatoes on sale, you're paying almost that much for a whole freaking potato not prepared. So that's not bad. And what else? Oh, the chili was $1.20 something each, like maybe $1.29 each, which is not bad. I got 2 turkeys and 2 regular ones with beans, and I think I'm going to take some of those and put them in our back pantry for long-term storage. Maybe 2 of them, and then keep 2 of them to eat, like, over the next month. And of course, we got these again. These are about 5 cents a piece, whereas at Walmart, they're 3.5 cents a piece. Let's see, because it was $3.99 for 80. The giant broccoli is $6. Their veggies are not at good prices right now at Kroger. It's like 12. I remember when that shrinkflation happened like several years ago, when they went from like a pound to 12 ounces everywhere for frozen veggies. And now, oh my Lord, the fact that they want almost $2 for frozen veggies. Really get mad at those commodity traders and stuff, because it is so much more than just inflation. Once you know what's really going on behind the scenes, all of this inflation is because of these old farts who won't quit, like, betting over what won't sell. And so, at least we got this. I had coupons. I mean, if I'll use coupons, is the only way I could probably buy the veggies. I'm not going to pay almost $2 freaking for 12 ounces of frozen veggies. I'll be having plenty of veggies growing in the garden soon enough. And I still have some okra in the freezer I need to eat up. Did get 10 pounds of rice. I can't remember how much it was, but it wasn't that much. And I'm pretty sure I could have 25 pounds of rice hidden somewhere around the house that we got from a zero. I just got to find it. And then these were 3 for $11. They hardly had any options because it was a Tuesday. I hate going on Tuesday because everyone runs in there to buy everything that's left before the sale is over. And then, let's see. That one was $1.79. That one's $2 on clearance. The other ones, of course, were like almost $3 each. And we were trying to find what we could. There was not that many in there. And what sucked about it was there was this old coot lady that was like coughing at us, like trying to make us hurry up and leave so she could have her pick. I don't know why people are so mean. It's like we were already there looking, but we had to leave because we made her unhappy. Got a little cabbage. These pizzas had a coupon, and they were $3.99 each. I usually don't like that brand because I think they're dry and yeah. But, you know, Gabby's like, I like them dry. They like crackers. So, anyway, got those because I had a coupon. These for me, these were like, you know, under $2. That's really a good amount of radishes. I've been trying to grow some in my own garden, but this weather's been so weird. It's taken forever. I'm sure I'll probably have some of my own radishes between now and May. Let's see. I think I've got everything pretty much, don't I? Yeah. So we spent, well, there's coffee back there. I won't drink the, what is it? Other one, Maxwell House. I've noticed that it makes me sick. I looked it up. Tons of other people have reported making them sick. When I drink Maxwell House, I fibroflare in pain really bad. I can do that with coffee anyway. I'm not sure why. I think it's just the way they prepare it because I can drink caffeine and other things. It doesn't make me hurt. But for some reason, the Maxwell House, it makes me have like serious pain. And there's a lot of other people on some weird website that all talked about the same thing. Like they were all having headaches, migraines, or nausea and all kinds of weird stuff. So I don't know what kind of pesticide they use or whatever it is, but it makes people sick. So I think I've got it all. Yeah, it was about 160 something for this. We got a couple other drinks and stuff that's not included in that. And this will last me forever. I tried to get stevia when I can, but I'm just too tight budget-wise. So this lasts me a long time. And I think that's all. Oh, yeah, and those for Gab. She likes to put the cherry tomatoes on her homemade pizzas. I'm in heaven. Finally got a chip drop. Look at all of those beautiful wood chips. Oh, I hope I can get more. Free wood chips. I can't believe it. What are you fussing about? You want a treat, huh? Treat? Is that what you're saying? I mean, there's some henbit right here. If you want some henbit, some of these Star of Bethlehem thingies are not that great. Hold on. All right. Need to get you some chickweed more. Here. Yum. Yeah, you're not even eating it. What's wrong with you? Are you pretending? Pretending, huh? Yeah. These are my favorite days. Where it's like sprinkly and misty. It's so magical. Peeper, what am I going to do with you? I don't know what I'm going to do with him. He's got a way prettier crow than Henry. Henry's a good rooster, but he doesn't do a cock-a-doodle-doo. He does a cock-a-doodle or cocko. He gets like screech and it's awful. But at least he's good with the girls and mates them. He doesn't know how to do the do. He like cut her back, and he doesn't even have spurs yet. But that's because he watches my ducks, and my ducks have become, well, they're two girls, and they pretend to do it with each other because their their man died. He broke his pee-pee legitimately because that's how much ducks do it. And it was like if a male duck has a broken man part, if it's sticking out, you can cut it off, but it wasn't. It like prolapsed on the inside, so it like had like a bulge of skin. So let's see. Oh, got a little egg. Oh, they messed up their nest boxes. Oh my goodness, they must have been up to something. That's left over from when we had this for rabbits. Yay, Squeaker laid an egg. Yeah, this was gonna be for rabbits, and then now it is for my little extra weird chickens. I'm going to be eating early today because I have a lot of gardening to do. I'm going to be doing lots of gardening probably for the next month or two. Get everything ready for spring. You can hear Henry's awful crow out there. It's like, cock-a-roar. Like he just like screams. He just doesn't know how to crow. It's constant, okay? I'm going to eat this with some eggs and some squash that my son didn't eat because he doesn't eat his veggies like he should. And then it'll be under 500 calories, 27 grams of protein. Yum. This looks like so much food for under 500 calories. I put a little bit of my eggplant red pepper sauce on there that was from our garden because we need to eat it up. And it's really good too. Okay, an interesting fun fact I just realized. This is what happens when you are a Spoonie and you are consistently researching and studying. I am watching this functional medicine doctor who posted a video about 4 years ago on fibromyalgia being mitochondrial dysfunction, which was suggested to me by, Mr. Google, YouTube, who likes to spy on what you talk about. And I had tried to search for this many times over the years, but it never pops up when you want to see it, right? And I had found out that fibro probably had some mitochondrial dysfunction involved. There are several layers and several integrative and functional doctors out there, holistic doctors who all have their theories. Some think it's just Lyme disease and this and that, right? Well, obviously I had been having a lot of health issues slowly peaking until I had the Epstein-Barr virus, which put me into full-blown fibro, and I have never fully, recovered from it. I almost did when I got in that really unhealthy relationship where he destroyed my health and I had to have surgery, and I'm still way worse off than before that jerk ever entered my life. Well, anyway, I found out fibro was probably mitochondrial, at least part of it, probably in 2015, 2014, 2015, because I got diagnosed with fibro the very beginning of 2014. And of course, doctors were not helping. All those meds they give you that make you loopy did not help. And, I started realizing about the mitochondrial thing, so I first started drinking BCAAs, which those helped me tremendously. And now I end up drinking the pre-workout more because it helps my brain more when there's pre-workout that has creatine in it. And the beta-alanine that gives you tingles really helps to warm my muscles so they don't hurt so much. If I had the money, I would drink BCAAs and pre-workout. But come on, each one of those, costs over $20, a container of that stuff. So I'd be spending, over $50 every couple of weeks for both of those. It's sad that, health insurance is never going to cover what actually makes you feel better when you're chronically sick. It's not fair. So anyway, and this guy was talking about this certain phospholipid. I forget, it's a long, weird name, but it's in eggs, I'll tell you that. And he's like, oh, we put this in IVs. And he looked away. You could see the guilt in his eyes because you could tell he did not want to say, oh, heal yourself at home. Come and pay thousands of dollars for my IV treatment and fly in. Only the rich people can freaking afford all of these functional medicine doctors to treat their conditions, okay? So those of us who can't afford it, we just get stuck trying to treat ourselves. But he kind of went through the names so quickly and looked away in guilt, like, I don't want anyone to know what that is. I'm going to say it super quick and move on. And come to find out, it's in eggs. And I'm like, oh, that is so wild. Because I was wondering, because, the medical medium is super veganist. And he talks about how eggs are so bad if you have the Epstein-Barr virus and all of this stuff. And so I'm wondering, okay, maybe I shouldn't eat them, right? And I noticed that the more I don't eat eggs, sometimes the worse and more tired I feel. And it's weird because I'm taking all of these herbs and things to help with any of the viral load I could have still. But I noticed that I seem to have more energy and feel better when I eat eggs for my chickens, especially now that I'm not feeding them very much conventional feed, which is full of GMOs. And so I am absolutely amazed that, okay, this makes sense because when you have this phospholipid, it helps with brain function, helps memory, helps all kinds of stuff. But this doctor was talking about how it helps get through it repairs very damaged mitochondrial cells or the cell walls. If the cell walls are really thick, you can't get any energy into the mitochondria or detox the toxins out. So no matter how much I'm taking to try to heal, I can't heal if I have a bunch of scarring on those cell walls. So that's kind of interesting. It also makes sense why walking is so beneficial. I saw something about walking this morning, how it boosts your new nerves growing. And people have done like muscle biopsies in fibro patients and found that not only is there neuroinflammation, but your nerves are constantly kind of dying. And that's why it hurts, because they're kind of screaming in pain as they die. So if you're getting to grow or your nerves are dying constantly. So if you get to grow new nerves, then obviously, maybe less pain. And so obviously I probably should be walking and hiking more. I garden a lot and I want to walk more. It's just that it's like I live in a creepy neighborhood where everyone knows each other and I just feel weird. And I like to hike more. I don't like walking on asphalt. It bothers my feet. It's like it feels like non-human. I like to walk on the ground, the real earth. So I don't know, maybe I'll go hiking more. So here is my lunch, and it is, 460 calories. It's 2 boiled eggs. It is half of this clearance barbecue salad, and it was $1.79. So for half of it, that's 89 cents. And the oranges are not quite 50 cents because it is not quite, half a pound. I got them for about $1 a pound. And I'm saving the other half of the salad. I just put the little baggies on top of it so that it doesn't make the stuff soggy or whatever. And let's see. I think if someone were to buy, I looked at Walmart to see how much it would cost if someone bought eggs, because I have my own farm eggs. And right now, an 18 count at Walmart is $3.88. That makes it 21 cents an egg. So this would be $1.78 for someone else to eat if they were to shop for clearance salads and things like that. And but for me it's only like $1.36, since I don't really count the eggs as money, since we use other stuff to feed the chickens with, and we don't have to spend money on them as often. Like I'll buy a variety of stuff to feed them, but then it lasts quite a while. So I'm trying the oat version of the Lifeway for the first time since it's on clearance. I'm not sure how I feel about oat versus regular dairy. I wish it would be more like, I don't know, we can't do it in this country. Wouldn't it be nice if we actually had like Jersey raw milk, kefir, which is really what's good for us, or goat kefir maybe. Oats are okay. I mean, I like oats. There's something nasty on it. What was I thinking about it? I'll clean that up after the video, but I know. Okay, lectins, yeah. Culturing probably does reduce all the lectins, which is pretty good. And then, I know it talks about, where's it at? Okay. When I did, body ecology years ago, the plantarum is a bacteria she talked about that is so beneficial that you just don't get from just a typical yogurt. Some people will just eat yogurt and go, I've got my probiotics, but it's usually just one type of bacteria. You really want a lot of different varieties. And the plantarum is supposed to be really good for gut healing and gut health. It tastes okay. It's a little creamy, but tastes almost like fake creamy. Let's see. So I don't know what that is. The pectin, or I don't know. And the taste is mild. I actually love plain kefir the most, to be honest. The plain kefir that Lifeway makes is my favorite. Probably about the same price as that, most likely. I just got it because it was going south and I don't want it to just be thrown away. I didn't record the other stuff I ate today because I had the other half of the salad. I had rice and squash, and so it was all kind of boring. But I wanted to show y'all this. My daughter made some homemade bread, still kind of warm. Yum, yum, yum. And then I also made some white beans for tomorrow. There's a little bit of some kind of like seaweed in there to put minerals in it. And I wanted to make fresh bread because I know the bread in the stores, unless we find some on clearance super cheap, then I just don't want to buy it because it's full of so much crap. You see all these articles coming out about how bad bread is for us. Like, I know gluten already is too, but this is with organic flour from Missouri. So, or sometimes we'll mix it all-purpose organic flour we get from the store if we didn't have enough of the all-purpose from Missouri or something. So we don't like bake it with just typical bromated glyphosate sprayed, wheat at least. So I don't know. There you go. Oh, and the kids love to eat meatloaf sandwiches with it. Like, I'm going to make meatloaf with the meat I got probably tomorrow. And some of the chicken breasts, and like homemade bread with homemade meatloaf sandwiches. It's like you can have it like that thick. If you cut the pieces like really thick, and then the meatloaf, it's like big filling sandwiches that the kids go nuts for. I'm cooking my breakfast, and I have a quarter cup of corn in there, and I have some onion. I have 3 eggs here, and I knew that the top tortillas in these bags are like no good for, tostadas. So I will be taking one of these and putting in my eggs. And I know you might read recipes where, they technically fry these if you want migas or something, but I just don't see the point in all the extra fat. I like soaking them in my eggs. It gives it a wonderful flavor, and it saves me calories. And I will probably put about half a serving of my reduced fat cheddar cheese on top, which will give me a meal that should be under 500 calories. So here is my breakfast after I made it. And it is about 447 calories, and I put a few of the Korean dark green peppers that we canned from our garden last year on top. Okay, so it begins. I'm not looking forward to all of this cooking, but at least it would give my kids plenty of protein for days and days and days, and yes, I will probably eat some too. We just went hiking for a couple of hours, and we know not every day is going to be that nice, so I am going to make meatloaf. This is 3 pounds, so I'm going to make 2 meatloaves that are 1.5 pounds meat each. So I usually use about 2 eggs for each little loaf. So I have 4 eggs here, and I was going to show you, I usually freeze my shells, and I do that because I don't like the idea of these, like, all the germs if you just set it out. So whether I want to throw it in the compost or crunch it up to give it back to the chickens for more calcium, I usually get this. There's this really good calcium stuff from Missouri I like because it also cancels out any smell so that you can do a deep litter method in the coop. But they're out of stock right now, but I still have some. I just need to get some to make sure I don't run out. But I always keep some eggs, and I'll freeze like a bag, and once this is full, and I can kind of crush it down to make it last longer. And then I will actually put them in the oven and then cook it, kind of roast them to kill any possible germs. And we'll kind of flake it up, and we can turn it into powder if you want to give it to chickens, or you can put it in your garden as a powder. But sometimes we'll just crunch it up real tiny, and you can throw it in the compost or whatever. The finer the powder, the more it actually, is easy to absorb by plants and whatnot. But I don't always have time for that. But so long as we have a lot of... I just hate to throw away that good calcium. It's like almost pure calcium. So you just hate to sit there and throw it in the trash whenever you could use it for your compost. So I thought I would show some of the stuff I'm putting in it. Because, I don't know. I guess I remember TV shows when I was a kid, and they would talk about how boring meatloaf was and everything, and there are so many people that will do meatloaf with breadcrumbs, and to me, like the bought breadcrumbs, and I'm like, if you're gonna do that, it's not money saving. Bought breadcrumbs are ridiculous, like the price. I mean, if you're making your own breadcrumbs, it's different. So oatmeal really is what saves you so much money. I have, let's see, I wrote it down. 2 cups of oats in here, and the organic old-fashioned oats from Missouri that we got in a big bag, and 1 cup of almond milk. I didn't have the skim milk finally went bad. Most of it I gave to the chickens, and there's a drop left that went too bad. And then the kids love to drink the whole milk, so I don't want to use the whole milk in cooking, so I use some of my almond milk. And 4 eggs. Let's see, which y'all know that. Okay, and then these are like all of my seasonings. Like I am just not a boring person. I have like salt, garlic, all kinds of seasoning in here. I have salt, garlic, lemon pepper, dill, paprika, chili powder, black pepper, Italian seasoning, parsley, and some of our own personal blends. And I did put a splash of raw apple cider vinegar and some soy sauce for flavor. A lot of people use Worcestershire. I just don't have it on hand. I haven't been buying it because I just end up using soy sauce for everything. Okay, so again, you'll have to ignore the stained pans. I have them both kind of pre-molded. And I wanted to bring this up too because, a lot of people think you need to have all, like, they might try to put all that meat in one pan and squish it all in and shape it like a, like a bread or something. I actually don't do that because it's more likely to stick. And I kind of like molding it ahead of time. I'll pat it out and kind of fold it into like a loaf on its own and set it in there. And that way, if there's way too much fat in there, this is 80% beef this time. Sometimes when you get the really cheap stuff, the 73%, and sometimes it won't even tell you when it's really cheap. It just says like ground chuck or something. And it would be so much fat that your hand is like coated with, the white fat. And that wasn't this bad this time. So I'm glad. But if it's too much fat that the oats can't absorb, it will kind of pile up on the edges. And you can kind of save all that extra fat, throw it out if you don't need it. But if you have a lot of big growing boys or big men in the house, they need a lot of extra calories. You can throw it in your rice or in your beans to flavor up the food and keep everyone full. Okay, I thought I would go over what they kind of call the whole, I guess, well, me, my family, I don't know, the meatloaf sauce, the special secret sauce, whatever, but it's not a creepy sauce, right? There's okay, it tastes really good. It tastes a lot plainer now because I added a can of old tomato soup that we had left over. It's been in the pantry for a while, so I figured we could use that. And because I don't want to use spaghetti sauce, and the ketchup bottle is already pretty much used up, already opened a new one. And so I wanted something that tastes really, really good. Now, when I start showing you this, you'll go, oh, that sounds great. Then all of a sudden you're going to be like, wait, what? But I promise you it's good. So I took a lot of my bread and butter pickles from our garden from last year, and I chopped them up and threw them in there. Labels from something else. And the rest of this, what'd you call it? The eggplant sauce. Oh! My kids, for some reason, never eat the bottom of the peach jam. So I'll put that in there. You can't even taste it in there. It just adds sugar. And then this probably had literally just the very bottom. And I added a little bit of almond milk, shook it up, got more out of it. This had a little bit more. Put a little almond milk, shook it out. Because it already has some, I did pour some vinegar from that in there. So this already has some sugar and some vinegar in it. And yes, even this, you might be like, what? This is crazy. Too many different flavors. This, you really can't hardly tell is in there either. Added more just of a saltier undertone. And it actually, before I added the tomato soup, tasted just like this. This we still have plenty of, so I didn't need to use any. But it tasted pretty much like Thousand Island, which I'm pretty sure Thousand Island is just a mosh pit of when people make homemade Thousand Island, they use ketchup and mayonnaise and pickles and all kinds of stuff, right? So that's pretty much kind of what it tastes like, of a sweet, yummy, tomatoey type of soup sauce that I'm going to put on top of the meatloaf. And the kids eat it up. So if any of you out there are shy about using all your leftover condiments that are just sitting there, taking up space in your Frigidaire and driving you crazy, grab them all at once and put some vinegar in it or some milk in it, shake it up and throw it in there. And I'm telling you, the kids go crazy. I mean, they beg me to make this stuff. And like I said, when I used to watch TV shows and everything, everyone, when they'd hear, oh, it's meatloaf night, the kids are like, oh, Mom, because it was always just tomato sauce on top or ketchup on top. My mom all made traditional meatloaf, which was just ketchup squirted on top, and she may have used breadcrumbs. I remember seeing a Roseanne show ages ago in the 80s or early 90s where she mentioned that that's how she fed her giant family, was meatloaf with oatmeal or something. That's where I got the whole oatmeal idea from, because I don't know if my family ever even used oatmeal in their meatloaf, but I always have done it, and it's, the kids love it, so. Okay, these look nice and golden brown and they're pretty much cooked through. I take the temperature when it's like completely cooked through or close to it. That is when I will go ahead and put all of the topping sauce on top and then bake it for a little while longer. That is a lot of sauce. Look at that. I made a bunch. I would have saved some. Sometimes I'll just put it on the side and that way you can put some more on your meat when you feel like if the middle is dry or something. But pretty much you're going to cut it and then put some more on it if you eat the meat by itself. And if you eat it with a sandwich, you may not want as much. So it is what it is.
Just my hands.
Look how pretty the bread is turning out. Wonderful.
I know, like it used
The
to
smell of homemade bread and the taste is so worth it.
Look at that part.
Yeah.
Okay, let me see. Look at, oh my goodness.
It is pretty.
That's nice. Like you know, I think this time I used nothing but the all-purpose from Azure. So that may have affected it.
Yeah,
because
the bread flour we got from them was just too dense. We need a different recipe
and then
for
whatever
it.
I was using before,
Probably be great for like the, what do you call it? You know, the kind you culture,
I did
the
notice
sourdough.
that it didn't rise a whole lot. Like even when whatever flour.
And man, oh man, am I tired. I've got all the chicken breast cut in half, which is a good thing I did because I found some little like bone pieces or something in some of them. And, which, yeah, it was weird. And then, what else? I added, soy sauce, salt, and our homemade seasoning mix, some paprika and some lemon pepper. So it'll taste really, really good because I don't do like low seasoning very often. And of course, I will probably flip it a few times because they are kind of crammed together in here, which I know most people would say, oh, yeah. But, you know, I try to save dishes and save time, and I'm tired. It is what it is. The meatloaf is cooked through, and I took the temp, so it's really good. And the chicken is now in the oven. Okay, it is on. We worked our butts off today. We went hiking. Here is my meatloaf sandwich of homemade bread and some mayonnaise. And my side salad. Gabby made hers. Oh, she's so proud of her. She found the biggest piece out of all the loaves. Look at that big old piece. I'm not kidding. But, okay, if you guys want kids to eat meatloaf, do this. And I'm not kidding. This is cheaper. It makes meat go farther. And, like, they go crazy. It's like, they'll fight over this meatloaf.